What's going on, everybody? My name is Gerald Moore Jr., and today I'm going to be doing an introduction to name, image, and likeness. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Gerald Moore Jr. If you have any questions, just direct message me. This presentation is for anybody interested in learning more about name, image, and likeness. Obviously, this is a newer topic when it comes to high school sports and college sports. It's something we've talked about for a long time, but obviously, it's just now coming to fruition where high school athletes and college athletes can now be paid for their name, image, and likeness. And so I think it's important that we have general conversations around what this is, how it will impact sports, how it impact our children, high school athletes and college athletes, just to have a baseline. Just for disclaimer purposes, this is for entertainment, information, and educational purposes only. These are my opinions. These are my thoughts. I am not a lawyer. I am not a athletic director or anything like that. I'm not a sports agent. I am just a former college athlete. I graduated with a degree in healthcare administration, but I didn't get a chance to benefit from name, image, and likeness while I was playing. And so I was aware of it. And I just want to share my thoughts on what's happening right now in the current landscape. All right, so just a brief agenda. The game was just introduction of who I am and what NIL is, target audience. Who's this for? References. There's some big contenders, deliverables. We have a lot of work to do, and then contact us. Just contact me for them. So who am I? My name is Gerald Moore Jr. Again. I'm a former Division One All-American football player and NFL free agent turned entrepreneur who inspires athletes to own their stories, build their brands, and create purpose-driven success beyond the game. Here's my amazing family. Shout out to my beautiful wife. If you're in Ohio, Columbus area, you know my wife from the news. She's on NBC4. I'm truly grateful for my wife. Here are my amazing children, Harper and Noah. And we're actually at an event that my family is hosting for Miles's mission. Miles is our third child. He's our angel baby. He was born not breathing. He's born stillborn. And so we have a foundation celebrating his life, but also creating awareness, bereavement care, and resources for families that are suffering from stillbirth. So it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And my family is part of my NIL deal. You know what I mean? When one of my goals for getting a college scholarship and going to college was to hopefully meet my potential wife. And I was able to meet my wife. You know what I mean? Me and my wife met pretty early in school, became friends, started dating, and we've been together ever since. So we're going on, 15 years of dating, I believe, pretty much ever since I got to school. You know what I mean? We're getting up there now. We'll be 10 years married next year. So we're on year 9 right now. So uh, shout out to my wife. Here's a brief history of just my career, my life. So at the bottom left is a picture of me at my grandma and grandpa's house in Rochester, New York, where I was born. First few years of my life was I was raised by my grandmother in the village. My dad took full custody of me. I'm my mom's second son, second child. My dad basically took me away from my mom, and I was raised by my grandma while my dad went to college. He started dating my stepmom. And so this is where I was. This is started from humble beginnings. The middle picture, I'll go to the middle picture because that's me in high school. I went to St. John's College Preparatory High School in Washington, D.C. We played in the WCAC conference, which is a pretty competitive athletic conference for high school sports. And then on the left is a photo of me and my teammates and my coach post the Penn State University game 2012 after the Joe Paterno scandal. This was on my birthday. I'm looking pretty down and drained because I am very exhausted. The medicine's starting to wear off. I played with a high sprained ankle. As you can see, there's a lot of recorders in front of us, a lot of press in that room. Again, Big Ten, so it's a big game. Just shows you the level of spaces that some of our athletes are. And then on the right side is a photo of me in front of a larger than life banner on the side of Peden Stadium, which is where we played at Ohio University, hanging next to Coach Solich, who is now he recruited me, but he's now in the NCAA College Football Hall of Fame. So shout out to Coach Solich. Also, on this, you can see how OhioBobcats.com, Russell Athletics, this number, This is all marketing and advertising. They're using my image, my likeness to entice people to go to the website, promote, and I didn't get paid for this, right? Nobody told me I was on the side of the stadium. One day I literally just came and I look up and it's me. You know what I mean? And I had been there for about 3 or 4 years already. I think this was my senior year. So it was very interesting. Of course, very grateful. You know what I mean? Anytime you could be the first. But again, looking back on it, it's like, dang, I ought to take a check too. You know what I mean? So just for people to be aware, right? This is how athletes are being used for their image, for their likeness. You can be put on a poster. Somebody can leverage that poster to sell merchandise, sell tickets, and you might not get paid for it. All right, so the game, introduce the play, name, image, and likeness. What is it? How does it impact you in sports? Uh, Keep things on track. NIL creativity is like the game day, chaotic, high energy, and full of potential. Your NIL plan is the playbook that keeps your moves strategic while letting your personality shine. And this is important. Every athlete is going to be different from your 5-star down to your 2-star, down to your no star athlete, just to your general overall high school student, to your rower, your person in field hockey, lacrosse. Everybody's game plan is going to be different, right? Everybody's strategy to how you're going to make money on NIL is going to be different. Everybody's not going to be the huge impact player. Everybody's not going to mesh with big brands. But that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't benefit from NIL. So this picture of me, this is actually a deal I did post-career, post-NFL, post-college. I ended up signing with a modeling and acting agent, talent agent, and then reached out to, actually, this was a partnership with one of the creative agencies that I used to work with. They were looking for a football player. So I actually was cast for this role, got paid a few $100s, $1,000 plus to do a commercial that was used. I don't even know if it was used, honestly, but we did content, we did digital content for this commercial. And the commercial was for Abbott Labs in their sports nutrition section or division. Um, got a typo right there. I thought I changed it. Sorry about that. So the game, name, image, and likeness, NIL. What is it? NIL refers to an athlete's right to earn money from their name, image, and likeness, essentially their personal brand. This means athletes can now be compensated for their things like endorsements, appearances, social media promotions, autograph signings, or their own business ventures, which is huge, right? You can start your own business. You can do partnerships on social media. You can do autograph signings, appearances, and endorsements. How does this impact you in sports? NIL empowers athletes to take ownership of their identity and build generational wealth while still in school. It levels the playing field by recognizing athletes as individuals with market value, not just players in a system. The sports as a whole, NIL shifts the culture towards fairness, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and helping young athletes think beyond the game. This is huge, and this is why it is important for us to start having these conversations very early on. Don't just wait until your kid gets to high school and start thinking about name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness really starts at birth, and it starts with the family, starts with parents, and how we're training up our child. So here's just some more content proof. So here's me as an impact player, my redshirt freshman year. I was a freshman All-American. And then here's a photo of the helmet I wore as an NFL free agent with the Oakland Raiders. So it just shows you my journey. Again, not everybody's going to make it Division I. Not everybody's going to make it to the NFL. But the goal is to be able to leverage however far you make it and allow that to be a part of your brand and your business development as you grow into adulthood. Here's some more content. So here's again another press conference post game. Again, a lot of responsibilities as a Division I athlete, as a leader. You're called on to do a lot. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, I wasn't compensated for my name, image, and likeness. I also wasn't a part of the recent settlement from the House versus NCAA. That cutoff was 2016. My senior year, I finished 2012, 2013. So we're still in litigation, still trying to figure out if we will be compensated for what we did accomplish from 2008 to 2012, 2013. So Jury's still out on that. Middle photo is a photo of me senior year at our bowl game. As you can see in the background, ESPN. This was the ESPN game, so this is broadcast to millions of people. The coaches are paid, the athletic directors are paid, the cameramen, the refs are paid. Everybody's paid, but the players, right? But the athletes. Bowl games make money through brand deals and partnerships, and stuff like that. And so it just shows you, as the athletes, we deserve to be compensated as well. Picture on the right is post career again, just shows ways that athletes can partner with their name, image, and likeness with other organizations. This was a nonprofit partnership with Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Care Source for a youth sports clinic in an underserved community. So be creative, understand that athletes can host camps, clinics, training sessions, again, autograph signings, partner with local restaurants, bars, whatever, be creative with how you do it. Every deal doesn't have to be a lot of money either. It could be equity, it could be partnership based, it can be financial, but that's up to you and for you guys to create a contract around that. The target audience for this or for NIL in general is youth, family, guardians, high school athletes, coaches, administrators, and college athletes. Again, parents and families and coaches. Target audience, youth, student athletes. NIL starts at birth. The earlier we teach our youth to understand the power of building their personal brands, the stronger and more successful they'll be in the long run. High school student athletes. High school is the stage when athletes begin to attract serious attention from college recruiters. And it's also when many teenagers start their first jobs. Um, start their first jobs. It's the point where both their labor and their intellectual property start to carry value, um, a lot more value than typically it garners, right? And then college and professional athletes. College athletes have long performed on some of the biggest stages in the world, all while being told that the scholarship was enough compensation. Even as schools, athletic directors, presidents, coaches, and others profited from their talent and hard work, NIL changes that. Personal testimony: NIL impacts all student athletes from the 5-star recruit to the last kid on the end of the bench. NIL opens the doors to athletes' earnings based on their name, image, and likeness, allowing them to partner with sponsors, brands, and leverage their influence. Like I said, I am somebody that wasn't able to truly leverage my NIL while I was, at my peak in college, which again could have earned me thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars with the transfer portal and me being an All-American. So this is why this is important, because it's opportunity, right? It opens up a lot of different windows. And some people are playing college sports in hopes of making it to the NFL to make money, right? And I think we have to keep that consistent, right? A lot of people, oh, well, the education needs to be front and center. Well, if you're from poverty, you trying to make some money. You trying to free mom from the corporate plantation. You trying to free pops from the corporate plantation. You want to buy moms a house, car. Retire moms and dads. Man, like there's a lot of real reasons why people are playing sports. You know what I mean? All right, so here's some references, some nice things to inspire the athletes. Here's a picture of my son. We were at Kroger the other day, and here's a big display of Jeremiah Smith, who obviously is the top wide receiver in the nation right now for Ohio State Buckeyes. And this just shows you how they're leveraging his name, his image, and his likeness, right? His name is on there, his image is on there. You don't see anything dealing with Ohio State, and this is a partnership between him and Red Bull. I don't know how much he got paid for this. But I'm assuming that this is probably all over the state of Ohio and all Kroger's in the partnership with Red Bull. So that's pretty dope. And we know Jeremiah Smith is getting that bag. So again, this is a partnership between Jeremiah Smith, Red Bull, and Kroger. And then there's another article that recently came out. Ohio high school athletes can profit from NIL deals after a court ruling. So this was updated October 20th, 2025. It is now November. Excuse me, guys. An Ohio Common Pleas judge granted a temporary restraining order on Monday which would allow high school athletes in the state to enter into deals that profit their talent. Franklin County Common Pleas Court Jiza Page issued her order on Monday, which could allow all students who are part of the 118 schools in the Ohio High School Athletic Association to enter into their own NIL deals. Ohio is one of 6 states that has rules in place that don't allow high school athletes to accept payments for their name, image, and likeness. The others are Alabama, Indiana, Michigan, Mississippi, and Wyoming. So again, that's huge for Ohio athletes, families in Ohio. This is why you guys need to pay attention and get as much information and education as possible. So deliverables, I put this GEO here. GEO is my 501c3 nonprofit that I am the president of. This is a grassroots nonprofit that I was able to partner with and leverage my name, image, and likeness to be a part of. And it just shows just different ways that athletes can partner with nonprofit organizations, while also for-profit, private organizations, government entities, and things like that. The process, October 2025. This doesn't make the process easier for athletes, but it adds more pressure and complexity to the sports landscape for all involved, right? So again, it's exciting. We get to make money, but it also becomes more and more about the business, right? It's less and less about the sport, about playing for fun. Now everybody is really incentivized to ball out and try to make money, which again is capitalism. Strategize. Families and athletes have to strategize. Talent agents, sports agents, lawyers, business strategists, marketing, and PR professionals. So again, when it comes to capitalism, when it comes to brand building, marketing, and advertising, getting your face out there, getting deals, again, the athlete can't do everything, right? The athlete can't go to practice, go to school, be in the weight room, be a good person, and do all these things and perform without having a team of people around him to help him out. And so that's where lawyers, talent agents, sports agents, business strategists, marketing, mom and dad come into place in protecting the athlete's best interest. Sometimes parents don't have the athlete's best interest, right? Everything shouldn't be about the money. Let the kid be a kid as well. You know what I mean? Don't overstrain or try to over deliver on things that the athlete may not be able to do. Execute. At the end of the day, performance is the essential indicator. The athlete has to leverage their personality, their talents, and their gifts and create solutions that are mutually beneficial for them and the brands and organizations. Timeline. So you have youth. Kids will be kids, but start to notice tendencies and what the child's interests and gifts are. Support those gifts by investing time, resources towards them with no expectation of immediate return on investment. Character building and development is essential in the youth stages. I'm seeing way too much in the youth stages where everybody trying to play for the money, the Instagram, the highlights, and we're losing a lot of valuable character development skills. Kids need to learn how to lose. You're not always going to win. Every kid that's a baller in youth ain't going to be a baller in high school, ain't going to be a baller at the Division I level, is not going to make it pro. So you need to be setting genuine expectations for these youth. Middle school, Q2. In sports, you start to develop physically and mentally more and begin choosing the things they like. Start sports performance training and getting media training during the middle school. I started sports performance training about 8th grade, which I think is a great age for really starting to focus on that performance type. Because again, kids could be really into it young, but they can also get burnt out. I think middle school, once the body starts to develop a little bit more, not heavyweight, lightweight, footwork, speed, conditioning, things like that, I think is important. Training kids for media, so understanding social media, branding, what's important, imaging. Obviously, as an adult, we can be a little bit different than when we were children. So I may promote things that, is completely different than I would have promoted when I was a child or in middle school, high school, even college, because I'm an adult now. So be mindful of that. High school, Start building relationships with colleges, um, and coaches through camps, visits, communications of interest through email, social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, however you can contact these coaches and build relationships. Connect with local businesses for partnerships and sponsorship opportunities. So the best thing is to find local businesses, brands to partner with and collaborate with. Every athlete is not going to get a big brand deal, but the small ones add up. Professional college is pro ball now. So having a support system that you can trust and that has knowledge and experience is key. Understanding your wants versus your needs. Again, it's important that you perform, right? And so don't go being too much about brands if you're not performing on the field, because those brands will dry up if you're not performing. And so that's the end of my quick introduction. If you want to contact me, again, you can contact me directly through text message 614-721-9981, or you can contact me through my business email, Gerald at companyconsultinggroup.org. Or you can hit me up on social media at Gerald Moore Jr., pretty much on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. But again, I would love to have more conversation around this. This is just a very broad introduction to name, image, and likeness, just to get people thinking. Let me know in the comments if you see this on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on name, image, and likeness. And yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.